Welcome to the Holidays to Switzerland Travel Podcast. Your host is the founder of HolidaysToSwitzerland.com and the Switzerland Travel Planning Facebook group, Carolyn Schonefinger. On this podcast, you'll be joined by a variety of guests who share their knowledge and love of the country to help you plan your dream trip to Switzerland.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Holidays to Switzerland Travel Podcast. Today's episode is all about the beautiful town of Interlaken in the heart of the Jungfrau region. Situated between two glistening lakes and surrounded by snow-capped mountains and lush meadows, Interlaken has been described as paradise on earth, and it attracts visitors from around the world who come to appreciate its natural beauty. If you have the opportunity to visit Interlaken and the Jungfrau region, you'll see why. In today's episode, you'll discover some of the top things to do in and around Interlaken from someone who knows it well. Don't forget, you can find the show notes from today's episode at holidaystoswitzerland.com/episode 4. I hope you enjoy today's episode. Welcome to another episode of the Holidays to Switzerland Travel Podcast. Today, my special guest is Renato Julier of Interlaken Tourism. Thank you for joining us today, Renato.
Thank you. Hello, Australia.
Can you tell us a little bit about Interlaken? It's a very famous holiday resort in Switzerland. But what is it about Interlaken that attracts visitors?
Well, it's very easy to explain. Interlaken lies at the world. It says Interlaken. It's the Latin word for in between the lakes. So it lies in between the Lake Thun and the Lake Brienz. And it's Interlaken itself is a Swiss town, important and a well-known tourist destination in the Bernese Highlands. It's like a main transport gateway to numerous of mountains and lakes activities in the whole region. Interlaken itself lies at the bottom of the famous mountain trio Eigermönch Jungfrau, and it's also the gateway to the famous Jungfrau region, with the world-famous Jungfrau Joch, top of Europe, the highest rail station in Europe. So Interlaken, for me personally, it's like all of Switzerland at one place. So whatever people can imagine about Switzerland, like lakes, mountains, waterfalls, glaciers, shopping activities, adventures, Interlaken has it all. It's really all of Switzerland at one place.
Sounds wonderful. You mentioned shopping there. What's the permanent population of Interlaken and what types of shops and services does the town have to offer?
Interlaken itself has about 6,000 inhabitants. Interlaken is also like a melting pot where a lot of cultures are living together. So we have a lot of various restaurants, Asian, Italian restaurants, even Swiss restaurants. They have European food, Arabic food, whatever you like, we have it. And we do have long opening hours till 10 in the evening, which is very convenient. So we have a lot of shopping facilities. Yeah, with big brands. And this is very good. And this is also attracting a lot of people from all over the world. So Interlaken, with the main road, the Höhenmatte between the two railway stations, Interlaken West and Ost, attracts people from all over the world. And it's really unique in Switzerland because normally shops, they close at 6 or at 7 in the evening, but not in Interlaken. Interlaken is just the opposite. And people love to do shopping also in the evening.
Okay. And what about on Sundays? Because lots of shops are closed throughout Switzerland.
Also on Sunday in Interlaken, during a high season, shops and restaurants are also open. So this is really good. You have a lot of activities to do, which you can do in and around also the lakes. There are quite a lot of nice restaurants. You can get there by easy in a walking distance. Yes, we have quite a nice variety of restaurants.
Okay, excellent. Now, Interlaken is very centrally located in Switzerland, so it's easy to reach from all parts of the country. But if people that are coming don't have a car, how frequent are the train services from between Interlaken and cities like Bern, Lucerne, Zurich, etc.?
Normally, people will fly to Zurich. It's probably the most convenient flight. If they're landing there, they have all 30 minutes. They will have a train from Zurich to Interlaken. It takes more or less 2.5 hours maximum. So this is very convenient. Even from Geneva, you will have trains 3 hours. But you can also connect several cities together. For example, you can land in Zurich, then you can go on to Lucerne. And you could take, for example, the Golden Pass panoramic line, which is combining Lucerne, Interlaken, and Lake Geneva region, Montreux, for example, which is also a very beautiful spot. So there's a lot of things to see, but the most convenient way is landing in Zurich, taking the train to Zurich, and then come to Interlaken via Bern or Lucerne. From Lucerne, you can take the Zentralbahn, which is the company name of the train company name, and it's also a very nice panoramic train and the best way to discover Interlaken by train. So you have a lot of possibilities and very frequent transportation system which runs very frequent all 30 minutes. Even from Bern to Interlaken, it's just 1 hour by train. You have direct trains. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really, really convenient and there's lots of services.
Yes.
Now, I've been fortunate to visit Interlaken on many occasions, so I know that there's some fantastic things to see and do in the area. But if you were advising a first-time visitor, what would be your recommendations for the top 5 things that they should do when they're in Interlaken?
Well, there are a lot of things which you should discover in Interlaken, because Interlaken has a lot of point of interest, a lot of attractions in and around the lakes, which are easy accessible in walking distance by train, by boat, or even by car. I would say number one where you should go definitely is Jungfrau Joch, top of Europe. It's the highest train station in Europe, which lies on 3,454 meters above sea level. And you can start in Interlaken, you can take the train, and if you go up to Jungfrau Joch, top of Europe, when you are on the Sphinx, you can enjoy a beautiful panorama to the longest glacier in the Alps of Europe, the Aletsch Glacier. It's you are directly in the heart of the Alps. It's a part of the UNESCO World Nature Heritage. So you have a beautiful view to the longest glacier, 23 kilometers long, 900 meter thick, pure eternal ice. And this is really impressive. And even on the top of Europe, you have the possibility to see snow and to feel real ice. So you can also go inside of a glacier and touch real snow and ice. And this is a really fantastic experience. Then Interlaken is also the European capital of adventure. In Interlaken, everything is possible regarding adventure sports. So whatever you like to do on water, in the air, on earth, everything is possible. So I can easily recommend you to do a paragliding flight. It's very impressive over rivers, waterfalls, lakes, and mountains, glaciers. This is really impressive and a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Then why not do a very nice hiking tour? Just behind Interlaken, there's a Lauterbrunnen Valley with 72 waterfalls, very, very impressive spot. And why not doing a hiking tour there? So you can use Interlaken easily as a gateway, as a starting point to do very nice and impressive hiking tours. Then why not do some wellness activities? In Interlaken, you find quite a big choice of beautiful hotels from 1-star to 5-star superior hotels. And why not enjoy some spa activities, some massage, whatever. It's also always a good idea. And for me, one of very nice activities, probably kayaking on Brienz. The Lake Brienz is a very nice spot, turquoise lake, very beautiful, impressive color. And doing there a kayaking tour, this is probably one of the best thing what you can do and how you can enjoy the nature and the pure nature in and around Interlaken. This is really nice. So if you like to do sustainable tourism in Interlaken, you can do it perfectly.
Okay, and the kayaking, it's possible to do that all year round, is that right?
Yes, all year round. Even in winter, it's more impressive. Even in winter, it's more impressive to do some winter kayaking. It's very safe. because they are working in small groups. So you will also get some safety instruction and everything. And it's also a once in a lifetime experience just to enjoy a kayaking tour on the lake.
Great. Now, you mentioned before some of the adrenaline activities that are available. You suggested that people try paragliding. What are the other extreme sports that they can try out in Interlaken?
Well, what I said, everything is possible for paragliding to skydiving, kayaking. There is a ropes park, for example, for families, which is very nice. Yeah, even bungee jumping is possible. There is river rafting, canyoning in the rivers. So you have quite a lot of choice. You have a very big choice. One of my favorite activities, for example, jet boating on Lake Brienz. This is also doable the whole year round, and it's a very fabulous experience to do some turns and some thrills with full speed on the motorboat on Lake Brienz. That makes a lot of fun. There are also other activities, some soft adventure activities, which are very nice to do, like even paragliding or parasailing, which is very impressive as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's always lovely, I think, to see all the paragliders coming into land in the centre of Interlaken there in the park. Yeah.
Yes, this is true. This is very impressive to see. Normally, we have thousands of paragliders every year. And it's very well known, Interlaken itself, it's like a paragliding capital now. Everybody wants to do it, and it's very cheap, by the way, and it's a nice experience.
Okay, fantastic. You mentioned the rope park is a great place for families, but what other sorts of things are available for families with smaller children?
Yes, what I said, the adventure park or even the ropes park is very impressive, or always a good idea for families. Then we have also all-weather activities like the Funky Chocolate Club. This is a very nice spot in Interlaken where you can create your own chocolate by doing a workshop. So during this workshop, you will learn all about cacao beans and you will create your own chocolate with your favorite ingredients. It means that after the workshop, you will get 3 bars of chocolate produced by yourself. This is also a fantastic experience because everybody loves Switzerland and even Swiss chocolate, which is always the best souvenir and the best thing to share. But there are other activities like the St. Beatus caves. So in Interlaken, you can also easily visit some caves with beautiful mood lighting systems, and you can even hear the rushing of the river behind you. So this is also a very nice spot, easy doable. You can walk inside of a nice natural cave. This is also a nice spot. But if you want, you can also rent a bicycles in Interlaken and also ride around. It's very easy because the surrounding is flat, it's safe, and you can discover the whole nature. So there are a lot of things to do in and around Interlaken, even for families.
Yeah. And what about swimming? Do most families go swimming in the lake, or are there swimming pools?
Swimming in the lakes is possible, but the temperature is very cold, actually about 18 degrees, and the water is very clean and very pure. It means there are not a lot of fishes inside because they will not find a lot to eat. But the water is very cold, 18 degrees, and very clean. But we do also have public swimming pools, if you prefer. Or we have also several hotels in Interlaken which are offering their own pools or their own spa facilities. So this is quite nice. Yes.
Okay, great. Now, Interlaken Tourism is also responsible for promoting some of the surrounding villages as well. Can you share some information about a few of these villages and why our listeners should visit them?
Yeah, in and around Interlaken, you find a lot of very nice spots which you can easily get there by, for example, by using a boat on both lakes. There are regular boat cruises on Lake Thun, even on Lake Brienz. And for example, Brienz is a very nice spot. It's the wood carving capital. So you will find these tiny wooden, typical Swiss houses. Beautiful village. And just behind Brienz, there is also the Ballenberg. It's the name of the Swiss Open Air Museum. So if you want to learn more about Swiss history, Swiss architecture, you can. It really looks like a village. You can visit all the houses. You can go inside. You will learn all about Swiss handcraft, about Swiss tradition. You can feed a cow. You will see Swiss animals around. You can feed them. This is a nice activity, even for families. This is a very, very nice spot, Brienz. But we have some more like Spiez. Spiez is the name of the village on the other lake side, on the lake Thun. And they have a beautiful winery. So in Interlaken, you can also do wine tasting in Spiez. You can also do some theme walks in and around the vineyard. So this is also a nice spot. And nearby the Lake Brienz, you will find more than 5 castles. You can also visit them, for example. And also the experience on the lake is really fantastic by using a boat to discover all the beautiful spots. And last but not least, Thun. Thun is probably the biggest city in the destination. Beautiful medieval city with impressive old town, shopping facilities, and beautiful castles and parks and bridges. A lot of people, they are comparing it with Lucerne. It's also very famous as a tiny Lucerne, by the way. Yes.
And the views from the castle are just amazing over the lake, looking back towards Interlaken.
Yes, it's very nice. So in Interlaken itself, you will not find a castle, but there is also the river Aare, which is combining both lakes. And it's very impressive because you have several canals who are passing through Interlaken. So you have kind of Venice in the Alps. It's very nice. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, aside from the popular excursions and the sites that you've already mentioned to us, are there any hidden gems that you can sort of let us in on that visitors may not normally get to hear about? Any secret places you can share with us?
Of course, there are many secret places. I would say number one is probably the easy spot to get there, but a lot of people, they don't know it. It's Harderkolm. It's top of Interlaken. It's I would say the house mountain or the main mountain of Interlaken. And just to get there is quite easy, because you can take a funicular which takes you up in 8 minutes. You have a beautiful restaurant with folklore shows every evening. And there's also a 2-lake footbridge where you can stand out and you can see both lakes, the Jungfrau mountain at the same time, and also Interlaken with those surrounding. This is very impressive. There's another spot which is also one of my favorite spots. It's called Giersbach. Just to go there is like in a fairy tale. You can start in Interlaken, you can take the boat, and 1 hour you will arrive in Giersbach See. It's really at the bottom of the lake, and then you can walk up or take the oldest funicular in the whole Switzerland, which brings you up in 5 minutes to a beautiful old historic hotel. And behind the hotel, there is a waterfall which runs down 500 meters in 14 steps. So this is really impressive to see. And also the view which you have from the hotel to the lake, this is very unique. And it's for me, it's a very magical power place. And it's probably also the biggest wellness area in Switzerland. You have a beautiful park around about 10,000 square meters big, and it's a lot of history, it's a lot of nature. This is everything at one point. For me, this is really probably one of the most beautiful places in the universe.
Okay. Well, I have to admit, I haven't been to Giersbach. That's one of the places I've got on my list for next time I get back to London. Yeah, it sounds wonderful. The falls, there's water coming over all year round or only in the summer?
You can go there the whole year around, but I prefer to go there in spring, because then you will see a lot of water which is running down. But for me, the best season to travel or to discover Switzerland is probably autumn, because everything is full of colors. The leaves are falling down. It's still warm enough. Everything is open, but you can smell already winter. And it means that the mountains are already covered with snow, this is for me the best season to discover Switzerland, and it's not too crowded. And you can really enjoy Switzerland in the most beautiful colors. And this is really important to say. And it's also regarding the price. Normally, you will get better rates in autumn than in summer during the high season when everybody is traveling around.
Okay. Yeah, excellent. Now, you've already mentioned getting to some of those little villages and towns by a boat, but if people don't have a car when they're staying in Interlaken, the rail system around the local area is excellent as well, isn't it?
This is excellent. I think this is probably one of the main reasons why people love to go to Switzerland. Everybody knows that we have a good public traffic system. There you can also buy a ticket. It's called the Swiss Travel Pass. It's a all-in-one ticket where you can use all buses, all trains, all public boats. And you have also free entry to more than 200 museums in Switzerland. And normally you get also a lot of discounts to many panoramic trains, for example, to many excursions in and around Interlaken. So this is very helpful. And what I said in Interlaken, this is probably the biggest, this is probably the most important thing why you should come here. Everything is easily reachable by train, by boat, by bus. In walking distance, you can even swim to some places, which is very nice as well. Yeah, this is a big advantage for everybody. And this is really sustainable tourism in a kind of way. I think this is also a good experience. And the Swiss travel system, you can buy it easily through a website. And it makes a lot of fun because the public traffic system in Switzerland runs very well.
Now, what choices do people have when it comes to finding places to stay in Interlaken?
Regarding accommodation, you find a quite big choice of accommodation. We do have different hotels. We have about 200 hotels from 1-star till 5-star superior. There are apartments as well, hostels. In Interlaken, you find a lot of hostels. It means easy, cheap hostels, B&Bs, or 20 campsites in the whole holiday region. So this is also very unique. You will find even youth hostels. So you will find accommodation for every taste, for every budget, whatever you prepare. And if you need support or help or whatever, we will be there for you. So you can always contact us and we will help you to find your perfect accommodation for your stay.
Excellent. Now, you already mentioned that you feel that autumn is your favourite time in Switzerland. What sort of temperatures does Interlaken reach in summer, and how cold does it get in winter on average?
First of all, I have to say that Interlaken is more a summer than a winter destination. So more or less 60% of all tourists are visiting Interlaken in summertime. Also in winter, you find a lot of things to do in Interlaken. So Interlaken is probably more the hub to the Jungfrau region, to the ski area. So because Interlaken lies only 600 meters over sea level, so it's not very high. So the temperatures in winter are not very cold. But actually we have temperatures about 24 degrees outside. So it's a really nice temperature. It's not too cold and not too hot or not too warm. You can really enjoy summer in a nice surrounding with nice temperatures.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today. It's been great to hear a bit more about Interlaken. And I'm sure you've inspired everyone who listens to this podcast to add Interlaken to their itinerary.
Yes, thank you so much, Caroline. It was a very nice discussion with you, and see you hopefully soon in Switzerland and in Interlaken.
Thanks very much, Renato.
Thank you so much for listening. For more great resources on planning a trip to Switzerland, make sure you visit holidaystoSwitzerland.com, where you'll find trip planning tips, destination guides, information on transport, including Swiss rail passes, and much more. You're also encouraged to join the Switzerland Travel Planning Group on Facebook, where you can ask questions and chat to other past and future travellers to Switzerland. You'll find show notes from today's episode at holidaystoSwitzerland.com/podcast, and be sure to subscribe to the Holidays to Switzerland Travel Podcast so you never miss an episode.